Bitcoin, the king of cryptocurrency. Since its inception in 2009, it has grown and developed into a new standard in finance, offering one of the most lucrative investment opportunities the world has ever experienced. As more people adopt Bitcoin, its limited supply and growing demand has significantly increased its value, generating tens upon tens of thousands of millionaires. As time moves forward, technology continues to advance. We see the evolution of things all around us. The same is true with Bitcoin. When it was launched, in order to mine Bitcoin, you would need physical hardware like an Antminer, as well as the software and technical know-how to configure everything. So mining was only available to those that had that specific skill set. And the miners are the ones who benefited the most by creating the Bitcoin ecosystem. I would like to introduce you to the evolution of Bitcoin, an unprecedented once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be one of the first people to mine Bitcoin code. No external hardware needed and no complicated software, which makes it available to everyone. Simply order your NFT miner, connect it to the network, and you're set to mine Bitcoin code for the next 140 years. Imagine being able to go back to 2009 and be one of the first miners of Bitcoin. Knowing what you know right now and what Bitcoin has achieved, this is an absolute no-brainer. Bitcoin code is following the exact roadmap that Bitcoin created in all aspects. It's on its own blockchain. Exact same number of coins mined every day. Total supply of 21 million. Halvings, the whole 9 yards. This is your opportunity to be a part of the evolution of Bitcoin. Will you sit on the sidelines like last time and miss the opportunity? Or will you take action and become a part of history? The choice is yours. The evolution of Bitcoin is happening, and your time is now.
General disclaimer. Welcome to this official presentation on Affiliate Marketing Model 3.0. All presenters are providing their services on a volunteer basis and are active participants in all products they are presenting. Their views and opinions do not necessarily reflect those of the organisation. While we aim for accuracy, errors may occur. All content is for informational purposes only. The information provided is general and not personalised advice. We are not liable for any losses. We provide information and systems, but we do not endorse any purchases of memberships. Your decisions are yours alone, so we advise conducting thorough research. If uncertain, seek guidance from a qualified professional. Attendees accept these terms by continuing to view this presentation. Let's explore affiliate marketing cautiously and curiously. Legal disclaimer. You are viewing an Affiliate Marketing 3.0 official presentation. All products and services, their component parts and operating methods and systems, either provided by or created by Affiliate Marketing 3.0, belong solely to Affiliate Marketing 3.0. All IPs are protected. Anyone copying, distributing, or reselling any Affiliate Marketing 3.0 product without express permission risks serious legal consequences. Any unauthorized broadcasting, live streaming, or social media sharing of Affiliate Marketing 3.0 presentations is strictly prohibited. Downloading and re-uploading presentations without permission violates copyright law and may also lead to legal consequences.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this presentation of Affiliate Marketing 3.0, brought to you by a company who you can see the growth and energy behind it. And you can feel it. Today, Affiliate Marketing 3.0 brings you Masterclass training. It is going to be presented by our Masterclass classy trainer, Trashik Jalot. And today, he is going to bring us back to the future. What does that mean? We're going back to the basics, and he is going to go ahead and present and bring us to the appreciation of the present, what is happening with BTCC, and help us to visualize the future. So, my name is Grace. I welcome all of you who are here to learn, and the teams that you have brought with you. Please make sure if anyone is missing that you have them here with you, and give them a call and have your paper and pen ready, because Trashit is ready to share with you. Trashit, thank you for this masterful training. We already know it's going to be great.
Thank you, Grace, and welcome everybody to this pre-weekend master training, specially scheduled on Friday evening. You know, we have strategized this on Friday evening because we want you to take your weekends, not to escape your weekdays, but you make the most of the weekend. So this Friday evening, while we are conducting this master training, please make sure that you are aligned with your entire focus. Please make sure that you invite your other teams, your members, your friends and families as well, so that they can also learn live with an interactive session. And please make sure that you make the most of this training. And then you can do the revision, you can take it forward on weekend, understand it better, how everything was, delivered to you, what were the basics, what were the advanced things that we taught, that we teach in this master training, and then you can move forward and you can make the best of this opportunity presented to you. So once again, welcome to master training, and I'm Trashit. I'm from India. I'm one of the rank leader as well as a key trainer to the project. Now, one of the best opportunity of my life that I got was to witness the history in the making. I don't know. It has to be somehow a cosmic alignment. We got connected to Chavez. Chavez, when he launched the blockchain BTC20 smart chain, we were there right on the very first day to witness the event. BTC20 smart chain launched on 1st of October. The first attempt was on 1st of October, but then there were some challenges, and finally the fully functional blockchain was launched on 3rd of October 2023. We are the witness to it. In your lifetime, you don't get that many opportunities to witness a blockchain to go live in front of your eyes. And not just an ordinary blockchain. This blockchain is based on the exact narrative of Bitcoin. So we are a witness to it. And that might be one of the reasons why I feel very confident while I'm presenting to you tonight's presentation, not presentation, but a master training to BTC20 Smart Chain. So tonight is going to be a training absolutely on BTCC, the Bitcoin code, going back to basics, learning what is the core value of this entire ecosystem. Affiliate Marketing 3.0's core foundation is in BTCC. So we are gonna tonight learn about BTCC, what exactly BTCC is all about, and how everything has been, in a way, aligned to be one of the lifetime opportunity. All right. I hope you will enjoy this training. And we are right now live on YouTube, and of course, this recording will be available to you. So please make sure you go through this as many times as possible, and you reach out to others as well whenever you want to teach them about BTCC. So this is going to be an absolute training on BTCC. All right. So it's going to be a long training. Please make sure you are comfortable. You have your notebooks and pen ready so that you can take notes. And that way you will understand the basics of BTCC. Of course, we are going to have a live Q&A session as well. I will address some of your queries if you have around BTCC, and we will proceed further. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us begin this training. And let us start with the basics. So for cryptocurrencies, there are two aspects. One is the technology, that is the blockchain technology, and the other aspect is the permutation and combination. That means the demand and supply. All right. If we speak of blockchain, I don't know how many of you have a clear understanding of blockchain, but I will make it plain and simple for you to understand. So blockchain is a technology like internet. Internet is a technology. In a similar fashion, blockchain is a technology. Now, whenever a technology is, launched, it has its different use cases. So cryptocurrencies is one of the best, and I believe the optimum use of blockchain technology. Initially, blockchain as a technology wasn't designed for cryptocurrencies transactions. It was for something else. But when in 2009, Bitcoin was released as one of the first digital currency, at that time, blockchain as a technology was put to proper use case. So let us understand what is blockchain first. So blockchain in plain and simple words is a technology which facilitates the ledger of any asset. Ledger as in where you keep all the records of the incoming and outgoing, of course, right? Like bookkeeping, right? So blockchain is nothing else but a ledger which keeps a record of the transactions on a certain asset, maybe cryptocurrency. Now, in blockchain technology, whatever new information that you are feeding to that ledger, it associates with the previously recorded information. And in a way that connection, that bond is immutable. It cannot be changed. For that reason, whatever records are there on a blockchain technology, they are like forever. They are permanent. They are immutable. And for that reason, when we say this, that blockchain technology is immutable, that means the transactions that are recorded once on a certain blockchain, they cannot be changed, they cannot be added, they cannot be altered in any way, because all the information that is on the blockchain, it is related to the previous information. It is connected in a certain manner to the previous information already recorded. So let me give you an example. Like A has a trail and B is connected to that trail. Now B itself is having a trail, C is connected to that trail. And in a way, there is a series of data. A connected to B, B connected to C, C connected to D, D connected to E. And that way, a chain of data is created. And for that reason, it's called blockchain. Okay. So this series of data, it cannot be altered. It cannot be changed, because if you change the B data, you're going to have to alter the C's data, and that will eventually lead to change in B's data, and then eventually lead to A's data, which is practically impossible on blockchain. So understand this, blockchain is a public ledger to record the transactions of assets. It's a technology used to create a ledger for recording the transactions. Now, whatever data that we are feeding to a blockchain, they are encrypted for the security purpose or maybe whatsoever reason, of course. So they are encrypted. And the technology used for this encryption is cryptography in aspects of cryptocurrencies. Okay. So for that reason, this cryptography technology that is being used for the securing the data on blockchain, we got this name crypto and currencies. Okay. So why blockchain? Because it's a series of blocks of data. And why cryptocurrencies? Because there is a technology involved for securing these cryptocurrencies. That's called cryptography. So this cryptographic technology, it eventually led to the title of cryptocurrencies. Okay. So the basics, blockchain, it's a technology, and cryptocurrency, it's a digital asset. But to record the transactions of cryptocurrencies, blockchain is used as a technology. I hope this is pretty simple for everybody to understand, right? So blockchain and cryptocurrencies, right? Now, if we speak of blockchain, so it's a technology. But how did we got this idea of blockchain? So, internet. Let me share my screen with you all as well. So let's say when we type any website's URL, right? Like Amazon.in. So you see all these images. This has been possible due to a technology called internet, right? You see all these images, you see all this information. When you press on certain links, you get to discover more about that information, right? So all this data, how is it possible that we can see this data in splits of seconds? How is it possible? It is possible because this series of data is all provided to us through a technology called internet, right? And I'm sorry, what is this? Okay. And what is internet? Internet is World Wide Web. It's a network. It's a web network of servers. These are called web servers. And there are special companies which are providing these web services. So all this data is stored in the web servers, and through a network, a widespread global network of servers, this information is brought to us in splits of seconds. This is how internet work, the World Wide Web, right? When we type any website, we have to type www.amazon.in, right? Before any website. So this actually gives you an access to that global widespread network of web servers. And through these web servers, all this information are provided to us in splits of seconds. This is technology. Okay. And this is internet. The global information provided to you at click of a button. This is internet. In a similar fashion, in a similar manner, if we understand blockchain technology, so blockchain is also a technology. It's a public ledger, may not be public, but it's a ledger, and it's a technology used to record information. So when we speak of blockchain, it is also a global network of nodes. So nodes are the critical essential component of a blockchain. And the entire network of blockchain is brought together through this nodes. Okay, so like internet, it's a network of web servers. Blockchain is a network of nodes. These nodes can be physical devices which facilitate. Now, what is node? Let us understand nodes. So nodes are physical devices, may not be physical. Now, our latest technology is with cloud node computing, may not be physical, but these are critical component which practically validates. Nodes are critical component which validates all the transactions on blockchain. This is their primary task, as well as they keep a record of the entire transaction of the blockchain. So blocks are primary essential component of a blockchain. So let's say when we say the Bitcoin blockchain is launched, that means the entire network of Bitcoin's nodes is live right now. So when we say that in 2009, Bitcoin's blockchain was launched, that means this blockchain was facilitated by the first node, and through that node, the entire network of blockchain was live. In a similar manner, when we speak of BTC20 smart chain on 3rd of October, may not be 3rd of October. It has to be 1st of October when the blockchain was live, but we could not start mining, some technical reasons. But yes, in the month of October, when Bitcoin Code, the BTC20 smart chain was launched, the first node was launched. It was connected to the blockchain and it started its basic task of validating all the transactions as well as keeping the record of the entire blockchain. And this is what nodes practically do to a blockchain. Okay. So when we speak of Bitcoin, when we speak of BTC20, so this is a blockchain network. Maybe even for other blockchains as well. Nodes are critical component. They are fundamental blocks which facilitate the blockchain's transactions. They validate it as well as they keep an entire history of the records of the transaction. So whenever a blockchain is launched, along with that, there is a scanner of that blockchain, the back office of that blockchain. Like for Polygon, we have Polyscan, right? For Binance or BNB blockchain, we have BEP20 scanner, right? In a similar manner, for BTC20, our blockchain, we have BTC20 scanner, scan.bitcoincode.technology, right? So this keeps the records from here. It's a web interface from where we can track all the transactions, all and everything that is happening on blockchain. You can learn from this. You can identify from this. maybe any web address that you would like to explore, know more about it, maybe a certain transaction, the hash code that you would like to know more about it. You can search it and you can get all the details from that blockchain. Now, all the transactions on the blockchain are unique. You will never have another transaction of a similar hash code. This makes blockchain technology very secured and completely functional, right? So the scanners, they practically provide the backup, the information of the entire blockchain transactions, right? And we have this with every blockchain. You will see every blockchain has a scanner, okay? So blockchain, global network of nodes. Nodes validate the transaction, keep a record. So all this information, they are stored. This have to be stored somewhere. We speak of cloud technology, but it's not in the air. Somewhere it has to be stored, right? So nodes practically facilitate the record keeping of the entire blockchain. I hope this is basic and this is clear to you all, right? All right, internet, blockchain, can you resemble? Okay. Now, so blockchain is a technology, and with this technology, there is an associated asset ecosystem, which is the cryptocurrency ecosystem, right? So with every blockchain, there is a fundamental coin associated in terms of cryptocurrencies. Now, I mean, blockchain is a technology, but it got its first practical use case. Not first, but it got its perfect practical use case with the introduction of cryptocurrencies. When cryptocurrencies were introduced with Bitcoin, right? Introduction of cryptocurrency. How did it start? With Bitcoin in 2009, when the first cryptocurrency was launched. So blockchain got its first use case with the launch of Bitcoin as the first cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin was launched in 2009. That means the blockchain of Bitcoin was launched in 2009. That means Bitcoin got a value. A value was created for Bitcoin, maybe less or more, that doesn't matter, but it was created and Bitcoin was launched as the first cryptocurrency. Okay. So with every blockchain, there is a crypto asset connected to that blockchain, and all the gas fees and everything is calculated in that cryptocurrency. So let's say if we speak of Bitcoin, so all the gas fees, all the basic fundamental calculations will be done in Bitcoin. For BTCC, the Bitcoin code is the fundamental asset of this BTC20 smart chain, right? For Polygon, the gas fees and everything is around Polygon, the cryptocurrency, right? For Binance Smart Chain, everything is around BNB. The gas fees are deducted in BNB, right? So when we say the first blockchain was launched, I mean, pertaining to cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. So the first cryptocurrency is Bitcoin, and in 2003 January 2009, the Bitcoin's nodes network was live, and this is how a blockchain was, launched, right? Has anyone ever known how a ship built in a harbor, it is launched into the sea? Just Google it. such a huge ship, when it's, when it's passed on into the ocean, there is lots of technology involved. But once it's in ocean, it is now doing its fundamental work, its basics, right, for the purpose for which it was built. In a similar manner, when a blockchain is created, it is launched into the decentralized ecosystem. Once it's launched, it does its basic functionality. Okay, so this is how Bitcoin was launched as a cryptocurrency, and the blockchain, Bitcoin's blockchain, was launched. So with every blockchain, there is a associated cryptocurrency with it. I have given you examples, right? So with BTC20 Smart Chain, that's our blockchain, we have a fundamental coin that is BTCC, the Bitcoin code. Okay. Now, once the blockchain is launched, is adaptability, the value appreciation of the coin of that blockchain. It all depends on certain factors. These certain factors can be the community involved. Now, the blockchain has been launched, but its adaptability and the functionality associated with this depends on certain values. So these are like the belief of the community. How many people are involved, how they are involved, right? The belief system of the community. It's practical use cases. So what is the purpose of launching a blockchain? What is the purpose of the asset associated with this blockchain? Now, then there is the necessity of the blockchain, or maybe the coin associated with that blockchain, right? And then the value appreciation of the fundamental coin. Like right now, Bitcoin is $105,000, right? So everybody is interested in Bitcoin and the blockchain associated with this. So Bitcoin right now is at $105,000, but it did not get this value instantly. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency of a blockchain, that is the Bitcoin's blockchain, right? And it got a value of $105,000. It is $104,000 now, right in front of our eyes. It reduced, right? So it got its value because of following factors: belief of community. Now, when Bitcoin was launched, it was just at $0.009 in 2009. Nobody knew what Bitcoin was. Nobody could have predicted if it's going to be $105,000. Why? Because nobody back then knew about technology, right? But in spite of this, Bitcoin has made more millionaires and billionaires. In fact, with this, new value appreciation, it might would have created some trillionaires as well. And it is the only asset which has created so many billionaires and trillionaires. Okay. How it was possible? It was possible because people started believing in this. Let's say you have $100 note currency. How do you have that confidence that this $100 bill has a value? Of course, because it is backed by the government, that the governor or whatever the the financial institutions are, they are providing a value to it. They are in a way, uh, 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 I mean, they are creating a value, in fact, in short, right? But for digital currency, which is not even, in we cannot touch it. How do we believe? How do we have that kind of belief system? Because it's value appreciation, how a value is created. It's practical use cases. It's necessity, right? This too practically doesn't imply for blockchain of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin practically doesn't have a certain use case. It's only a value that has been hyped and created by a belief system of a community, right? It doesn't have a practical use case. But of course, this value appreciation is because of people holding Bitcoin, people buying Bitcoin, right? So this is how any coin, in fact, any asset gets a value. So Bitcoin has created more millionaires and billionaires compared to any other, market asset. Okay. The one reason behind it is demand and supply. Those who understood this basic concept, they are right now millionaires and billionaires. And if you too understand this basic concept, you too can be a millionaire or billionaire. Trust me when I say this to you. I'll give you an example. What happened during lockdown? Everything was shut. The basic commodities, like maybe vegetables, food, milk, even their value, it increased. It was hyped. Why? Because it's simple logic. When the demand is high and the supply is limited. When the demand is high and the supply is limited, the value appreciates. And the vice versa. When supply is more, but the demand is less, the value depreciates. Okay. So when Bitcoin was launched, it has this factor with it associated with this. The demand, it's gonna go high because the supply is limited. So when Bitcoin was released, in fact, this is applicable to all the cryptocurrencies. When Bitcoin was released, the supply was fixed. And that supply is 21 million. So when you explore Bitcoin, you can see the max supply is 21 million. That means in the entire world, on the entire universe, the supply of Bitcoin is fixed. It is limited to 21 million only. There cannot be any, even in decimal values, any Bitcoin more than 21 million, right? Of this 21 million, already 19.87 is in circulating supply. That means this already has been, got into supply. How much is it? It's 19.87 million. So how much is left? Only 1.13. Million. So if you consider the entire population of the earth, it's almost 8.5 billion. 8.5 billion humans on earth. And what if only a 25%, maybe 20% of this 8.5 billion, they are interested in Bitcoin? Do you think 1.13 million that is yet to be in supply, it is sufficient for everybody? Is it sufficient? No, it is not. Only 1.13 million Bitcoins are left. What about this 19.87? Of this 19.87, some are with the BTCC capitalists. They are holding on Bitcoin. Some are lost somewhere, maybe in some wallets, which maybe people have forgotten the passwords or access to this wallets. Some are in transactions, day-to-day transactions. This is how the circulating supply is created, right? So only 1.13, like if you are starting right now, if you are, now you are discovering, oh my God, Bitcoin is such a valuable asset. Now that I would like to participate, like I would like to hold, then only 1.13 million is left for you. Or else from the existing supply, you will have to maybe buy, you will have to steal, I don't know. But this is not for us, right? Because anybody who would like to sell, they would like to sell it at a profit. So you will always get an appreciative value whenever you would like to buy, right? So only 1.13 is left. Now, why? How? Within this 60, like from 2009, just a minute, to 2015 or 2025, how it was possible that from 21 million supply, 19.87 already is in supply, only 1.13 is left. This is because of an event that was already coded into the supply algorithm, and that's called Bitcoin halving. Okay, so Bitcoin halving. This is an event which takes place whenever 210,000 blocks are added to the Bitcoin blockchain. So when you scroll through this information, like you have this website over here, right? bitcoinco.org. And when you see the white paper, so in this white paper, it's already defined everything, how the supply will get into existence, and how this calculations will be done, what is the algorithm and everything. This is the roadmap of Bitcoin. This is the blueprint of Bitcoin, the Bitcoin white paper, and it was authored by Satoshi Nakamoto. That's why we use this name as the creator of Bitcoin, because he was the person who introduced Bitcoin as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, Satoshi Nakamoto, right? Nobody knows if it's a person, it's a country, it's a group of individual. Nobody knows. This is an anonymous identity, but still it is associated with this white paper, and we believe Satoshi Nakamoto was the person, was the institute, was the group of people who introduced this entire ecosystem, and they for the first time launched Bitcoin as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Okay, so when this white paper was published, it was mentioned in that white paper that whenever 210,000 blocks will be created on the blockchain, at that time the supply will be reduced to half. Now we speak of blockchain, then we speak of tokenomics. So tokenomics is the exact bifurcation of the fundamental coin of that blockchain, right? So whenever we speak of Bitcoin, so there is a certain calculation associated with the supply of Bitcoin, right? So in 2009, when the blockchain was released, the initial supply of Bitcoin was 50 Bitcoin per 10 minutes. That means whosoever is mining Bitcoin. Now, mining is a certain, a functionality with which you can claim Bitcoin. We don't get involved with that. I hope everybody knows mining. What is mining, right? So in 2009, the initial supply of Bitcoin was 50 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. And this went to all the people, to all the miners, in fact. Okay. So let's say if there are 100 miners, then this 50 Bitcoin every 10 minutes will be distributed amongst all the ions. Okay, let me explain what is mining. So if you search Bitcoin mining, so it's a process, it's a physical process through which you can claim Bitcoin from the supply. So there is a supply of 21 million, but this supply is fabricated in certain aspects, and you can claim from this 21 million if you start mining. For mining, you need this miners. These are digital devices like processors, right? And through these processors, there are certain calculations that need to be performed on the blockchain, and that's how you claim Bitcoin as rewards. Okay, so whosoever is mining Bitcoin, they could have claimed this 50 Bitcoin from this supply of 50 Bitcoins every 10 minutes. Okay, and right now the Bitcoin mining is so commercialized, like Bitcoin mining farms. If you Google, sorry, has to be farms. If you Google, so there are mining farms expanding in spaces like a huge football ground. Like they are covering entire deserts, they are covering entire mountain, and they are using different means of energy to generate electricity. So this has been so much commercialized. If you just Google Bitcoin mining, there is one video over here on YouTube. We will not endorse it, but it's a good video. Like the largest mining farm of Bitcoin, they consume so much of electricity. And for this reason, Bitcoin mining is not, many nations have banned Bitcoin mining. They have sanctioned, because it's such a energy consuming process. It requires a lots and lots of electricity, and everybody knows that electricity generation, it has its own carbon footprint. And for this reason, Bitcoin's mining is not feasible for everybody, right? So now understand this: the supply of Bitcoin was limited, and anybody who would have joined this mining revolution, they could have claimed Bitcoin. Even right now, when this commercial mining farms, they are mining Bitcoin every day, right? So in 2009, 50 Bitcoin every 10 minutes, but it went to all the people who are mining. So let's say if there are 100 people, 100 miners, right? So everybody will get, like from this 50 Bitcoin, everybody will get 0.5 Bitcoin, right? But what if there are 1,000 miners? Then everybody gets 0.05. What if there are 10,000 miners? Because the supply is limited, that supply only has to be distributed amongst anybody who is claiming from that, right? So if there are 10,000, then the supply, then everybody receives more, lesser and lesser value of Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin mining can benefit you if you have certain hash power, as well as, you need to be competent with every other miner. Like there are thousands and thousands of mining farm. Everybody is claiming Bitcoin, but the supply is fixed. This supply cannot go beyond this value. So it has to be distributed amongst anybody or whosoever is claiming Bitcoin, right? Now, who will get how many Bitcoin depends on one more aspect, that is hash power. So these are actually processors. These machines, these miners that you see, they have a certain processing functionality. And according to the hash power, they can claim from the daily supply, right? So the daily supply is 50 Bitcoins per 10 minutes. So depending on whosoever having high hash power, they will claim more from this daily supply. But then you have to compete with all the other miners as well. So your chances of claiming Bitcoin depends on your hash power, as well as with how many other, miners you are competing with. Okay. So I hope you understood this point. What is hash power and how much you can claim, right? So it depends on all the miners plus your hash power. So in 2009, the supply was 50 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. Then the first halving event happened in 2012, and the supply was reduced to 25 Bitcoins per 10 minutes. Okay. Then the second halving, it happened in 2016, and this supply went down to 12.5. Okay. Then in 2020, third halving event happened, and this supply went further down to 6.25 Bitcoin per 10 minutes. Okay. Then recently, last year, we went through fourth halving in 2024, and right now the current supply is 3.125 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. So can you see the supply went on, breaking down further after every halving event. But with this supply, it is reducing and the demand is increasing. And for that reason, you can see right now Bitcoin is at $104,000. Okay. And for this reason, even this 1.13 million Bitcoin, it will still take 115 more years to get into supply. The final year is 2140. I believe so. Okay. So with every halving event, so the next halving would be in 2028, right? And this will break down further into 1 point something value. Okay. It will go further, to low value. So this will keep on continuing unless every Bitcoin is into supply. And for this reason, the supply is getting lower and lower. The demand is increasing, and for that reason, the value is appreciating. So anybody who understood this back in 2009, 2010, 2020, they are right now millionaires, billionaires, and trillionaires. They are going to amass more wealth in coming years. As the Bitcoin's supply will reduce further, its value will increase more. So even right now, if you start accumulating Bitcoin, it still has 115 more years to get into supply. So there are still chances of you becoming, or maybe your next generation becoming millionaire or billionaire. Is it too difficult to understand? It is right now in front of our eyes. You see this. This is how Bitcoin has gained a value, right? This is Bitcoin. Okay. And Bitcoin got its first value when somebody bought $40 worth pizza using $10,000. The date is 22nd May when somebody bought $40 pizza, two pizzas, using 10,000 Bitcoins. The name is Laszlo Hayes or something like this. And Bitcoin, back in 2011, I believe so, or late 2010. Let me put it like this. Bitcoin got listed on exchanges. The first exchange that was created for Bitcoin was in late 2010. So the first value creation was in late 2010 when somebody thought that this can reach somewhere. That exchange long way back has lost, it has been terminated. But so this is how Bitcoin got to a value, and this is how a value creation, because everybody started believing in blockchain, in that coin. Practical use cases started. People started sending Bitcoin to one another. The blockchain necessity, the value appreciation. So this all led to Bitcoin getting listed on an exchange. So those who are asking why Bitcoin code is not listed on exchanges, the BTCC, why it's not listed on exchanges. So how many of you believe will know about BTCC? How many of you believe that we have exact use case of BTCC? There is still time for this value creation. And when the time is right, trust me when I say this to you, BDCC has been introduced, designed, developed, delivered, whatever you may call it, by some of great minds who already are Bitcoin millionaires. They understood Bitcoin, and from their experience, from their knowledge, they have introduced BDCC. So BDCC right now is in very good hands. They know the essence of decentralization. They know what Bitcoin has created. They can, in a way, they cannot create the exact copy of Bitcoin, but maybe if we can reach to a certain value of Bitcoin, even that is more than enough. So those who are inquisitive why Bitcoin is not Bitcoin code, BTCC, is not listed on exchanges. So there is still time for its value creation. It's still time for people to understand or accept BTCC as an asset. And when the time is right, trust me when I say this to you, the creators, the developers of BTCC who have introduced this blockchain, they have huge plans for BTCC. So right now, what I can suggest you is claim as many, claim and hold hodl. In fact, like David mentions, hodl for your life, hold on for your lifetime, right? So claim and hold as many BTCC as possible, because Bitcoin has created a history, and right now we are in the history in the making. So hold as many BTCC as possible. We will have everything on it. The exchange, the value creation, the use cases, everything we will have, but there is a waiting period for that. There is a right time for it. And trust me when I say this to you, the creators of BTCC, they are far more experienced, and they know what is this value creation, and they will create this value. So all they ask for us is to hold and create and claim as many BTCC as possible, right? And let's say right now, if we launch it on exchange, what will happen then? How many of you will interact? Or those who knew only will like to dump it. So there is pumping and dumping of coin. Are you aware of it? We have seen many coins being pumped and dumped, right? How does that happen? Let me give you a very, very clear example. I think we have covered this. So whenever a coin is listed, it is not listed alone. I mean, you cannot just go to an exchange and give them the coins and list us. It doesn't happen that way. There has to be a certain liquidity provided along with the coin supply. That's how a value is created. Okay. So whenever a coin is listed, the supply and liquidity both have to be managed. Okay. So let's say you have a coin supply of $1,000 and a liquidity of $100,000. So the value of each coin is, let's keep it $10,000. So the value of each coin is $10, $10 per coin. This is the coin supply, and this is the liquidity, right? So let's say you want to list any coin on Binance. You will require not just the coin supply, you will also require liquidity to support that coin. And that's how a certain value will be created. And then on the participation of the community, the value can appreciate or depreciate. Okay. So let's say 1,000 coins and 10,000 of liquidity. So the value of each coin is $10. Let's say if somebody buys 500 coins at $10, right? So $5,000 are added to the liquidity. So the new liquidity is 15,000. Okay. How did we get to this value? Like we have $10,000 of liquidity and we have 1,000 coins. So the value of each coin is $10. Now, if you buy 500 coins at $10, so 5,000 will be added to the liquidity. So 10,000 plus 5,000, it's 15,000 in value. And the number of coins left for others to buy in the supply is 500. So 15,000 divided by 500 coins left. So now the value appreciated to $30 per coin, right? What if anybody buys 400 more coins? So that means only 100 coins are left. And at $30, if anybody buys 400 coins, so 12,000 more is added to the liquidity plus existing liquidity 15,000. So that's $27,000. And now the new value of coin is, how many coins are left? 100 coins. And what is the liquidity against it? $27,000. So 27,000 divided by 100. So the value of in coin, it all of a sudden from $30, it went to $270.
Okay, looks like Tashid is frozen, and he should be right back. He should realize that real quickly, and he'll be right back. This has been, thus far, the most comprehensive training on the blockchain technology. This is just absolutely phenomenal. And I know we are looking forward to hearing some more and continuing this training. Such great food for the mind. Just absolutely amazing. So he should be back very shortly. Thank you for your patience. So let me just get a show of hands. How many people agree with me on this training and how thorough and exciting it is? Just raise your hand. Yes, I'm gonna raise my hand too as well. Has this been
Sorry, Grace,
completely
I'm
wonderful?
back. I'm sorry.
Okay. And Chavez, I was just taking a poll as to how people were feeling about this training, and as you can see, it's a unanimous, fantastic thumbs up. Thank you for so much, um, for such thoroughness. I give the floor back to you. Okay, we can go ahead and lower our hands. Thank you all so much for participating in that poll. Tashit, as you heard, he'll be back very shortly.
Are you able to hear me, Grace?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
And we can see you now.
Apologies. I believe that has to be some network issue.
Yes.
And let us get back to training. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, apologies for this glitch. And so we were, back at this liquidity and supply. Okay, how a value of a coin is appreciated or depreciated. So let's say now the coin value is $270 per coin. And what if anybody is holding like even 500 coins? So they will sell 500 coins, and now from this liquidity of $27,000, right? Let me do the mathematics. So $270 of a coin value and 500 coins, it's $135,000. And what is the liquidity with the system? It's just $27,000. So this is how a coin is pumped and dumped. We have seen many projects with this kind of things. And this is stupidity when a project is delivered by irresponsible creators. This is what happens. So how many of you now would like to have BTCC on exchanges? Because this can happen to BTCC as well. Right now, even with with this system's constraints. And Chavez is so brilliant with this. Even though right now we cannot go out in open exchanges, we cannot exchange BTCC. We cannot have an open exchange on BTCC. But still within the system, we can grow it, we can utilize it. How we can grow? Like, we have this swapping mechanism. We can swap it to BTCC, USDT, a stable coin, cryptocurrency, this swap. Do you remember when the boomerang refund was provided? BTCC was at $60. And with everybody transacting into, swapping it into BTCC, the value increased, the liquidity was added. And that's how BTCC went to $217. And then it retained to $160 for a consistent time. So although we cannot take it out of the system, but within the system, we can increase in value. Along with that, we have the DeFi thing, DeFi products, where you can utilize 40% of the license value or the product value in BTC20. Then we introduced whale passes, where you can utilize $100, BTC20 USDT. Then it's upgrade as well. So although right now it is not available on open exchanges, but still the value can be increased, value can be utilized, right? And it's only a matter of time when BTCC will be on open exchanges. Again, I'm repeating, trust me when I say this to you, BTCC right now is in very experienced hands. The creators, they know what they are doing. And very soon we will have many great things on BTCC. So hold, retain, claim as many BTCC as possible. Okay, so let me quickly revise everything and then we will conclude the session. Of course, there is lots of information, but everything cannot be covered in a single day. For that reason, we will have a part 2 of this master training, and tomorrow we will conduct that. We will declare the date and time, and we will be. So let us revise everything. Now, everything that you have learned in tonight's master training, now you can relate to this. So BTC20 Smart Chain launched in October 3rd, 2023. I mean, there are many leaders who are witness to this, right? So it's a EVM compliant blockchain. What does EVM mean? Ethereum virtual machine. So that means this is like the backend mechanism of blockchain, the core processing capability of the blockchain being EVM compliant. So Ethereum, I mean, if we speak of Bitcoin blockchain has its own limitation. The first limitation is the TPS. Let me show you. The transaction per second, that is the number of transaction a blockchain can handle in a single second. So the TPS of Bitcoin is merely 6 to 7. So this can be one of the biggest drawback in terms of technology, and it's a fundamental blockchain. There is nothing that can be like a smart contract or the dApps that can be implemented on this blockchain, because technology wise it's not that competent. And because Bitcoin is a Bitcoin, it's still going on, but technology wise there is not much adaptability of this blockchain. So there are limitations with this blockchain, and for that reason Vitalik Buterin, the creator of Ethereum, he took the core concepts of blockchain and then he introduced a technology to it, and that's how Ethereum was launched, which is the next cryptocurrency of the world, the second highest market cap cryptocurrency of the world, Ethereum. And trust me when I say this to you, Ethereum might appreciate to 5 times more from this value in this current bull run. Okay. So this is Ethereum. Ethereum came up with more advanced technology and gave lots many enhancement to the blockchain, like the smart contract, like the dApps. So right now, when we say our blockchain is EVM compliant, that means it has seamless capability with Ethereum-based smart contracts. Almost 100% smart contracts that you will see, they are based on Ethereum blockchain. So right now we are a layer 2 blockchain. That means we still have to depend on Ethereum. We are layer 2, we are not layer 1. So very soon with this updates that are ongoing, we will be layer 1. That means we will have our own seamless ecosystem, right? We don't have to depend on anything else. So we are right now EVM compliant. That means technology wise, we are far more compatible. Then we have the highest TPS of 64,000. That means we have a good speed of transactions. And the biggest factor for a blockchain's adaptability is the gas fees. Like on Ethereum, the gas fees are so high. Sometimes just for a $10 transfer, you require a gas fees of $25 to $30. Is it practically feasible? No, it is not, but it is how it is. The gas fees are a critical component to the adaptability of the blockchain. We have so far the lowest gas fees. So this all makes our blockchains more adaptable, more compatible with the latest trends and technology. So there is more chances of this blockchain getting traction from the external community. Okay. Then with every blockchain, like we mentioned, there is a coin associated with this. So the Bitcoin code, BTCC, is the fundamental coin of this blockchain. And it is designed on the supply is designed on exact protocol of Bitcoin. So we have 21 million of the total supply, like Bitcoin, right? Like Bitcoin, we have 21 million of total supply with halving events every 4 years or at every 210,000 blocks. So it means we have the exact roadmap of Bitcoin. So that means year 2, there is going to be a 140 years of mining benefits that you can claim right now, starting today. So when the blockchain was launched back in 2023, October month, this coin was backed by a limited supply. And with that, it got a value. I hope this supply, you have now learned how a coin's value is determined. So a coin pegged against a supply, it will give a certain value to the coin, right? So with this, a certain liquidity was pegged against BTCC and a $3 value was determined. And with this, the traction started happening and this coin went as far as $217 all-time high. Right now it's trending at $120. So it is very important for everybody to claim BTCC, to mine BTCC, anyhow, beg, borrow, or steal BTCC, anyhow possible. This is gonna give you so much leverage in coming years. And this is your gateway to becoming the next millionaire or billionaire in crypto systems. Okay, now the perspective. So we now compare once again, the Bitcoin and Bitcoin code. So Bitcoin launched in 2009, 21 million supply only through mining, 4 years, halving every 4 years. Initial supply was 50 BTC Bitcoin per 10 minutes. Now, as we have mentioned, the Bitcoin's blockchain is fundamental blockchain. The smart contracts cannot be deployed. The dApps cannot be deployed. And it's an energy-consuming, energy-centric blockchain. It leaves a carbon footprint. So these are the challenges with Bitcoin. How come we overcome these challenges with Bitcoin code? launched in 2023, we have kept the same essence of Bitcoin, the core value, the fundamentals, 21 million supply only through mining, 4 years halving, and the initial supply right now is 50 BTCC every 10 minutes. But we are layer 2 blockchain. Soon we are going to evolve into layer 1 blockchain. We are EVM compliant. Right now, we are fully scalable and fully compatible with latest trends and technology. Then we have digital mining, so absolutely environmental friendly. And another perspective in terms of halving events and the value appreciation. So we know halving event happens every 210,000 blocks when they are added to the blockchain. So 21 million of supply, how does it get into existence? So the Genesis block of Bitcoin, it happened. The first block, the Genesis block was created in 2009. From 2009, we have come so far to 2025, and across the 16 years the value of Bitcoin has appreciated because the supply was reduced and the demand was increased. And for that reason, when in 2009 the supply was 50 Bitcoin every 10 minutes, the value was $0.009. But with the first halving event, people started realizing now the value has reduced, something is happening, it's interesting. So people started participating, and all-time high after the first halving was 111 $1,100. Back in 2016, the second halving value, supply was 12.5, like we have mentioned. You can relate to this, right? This. And the all-time high was 20,000. Back in 2022 or 2020, supply was 6.25, all-time high 68,000. In 2004, the fourth halving, the supply right now is 3.125, and all-time high was $109,000. But in 2025, when the actual bull run started, the all-time high right now is 111,970. And this happened on 22nd of May 2025, 22 days ago, $111,970. This is what Bitcoin has achieved so far. All right. And back in 2023, Chavez took the essence of this entire historic event and he released a blockchain called BTC20 Smart Chain. And with a certain liquidity, the value was at $3 of BTCC, but the supply is 50 BTCC, but we started with 1500 miners. I'm sure many leaders right now are on this call and they have been a witness to this historic event. How many times in your life you get to witness a blockchain going live right now, right in front of your eyes? As far as I believe, it's a nostalgic feeling, but I remember my wallet, my MetaMask was third or fourth wallet which got a NFT, and we started mining for the first time in our life of BTCC. So this is very exclusive. And right now in 2025, we are with 150,000 miners. So back then there was just 1,500 miners, 15,000 miners, and right now we are at 150,000 miners. But the supply is still the same. So where were we? So 50 BTCC distributed amongst 15,000 miners. Okay, let's copy this and let's do this. So instead of 2029, it's 2023, but the supply is same, 50 BTCC. And here it was 15,000 miners. right? So everybody got from this 50 BTCC. So now in 2025, the supply is still 50 BTCC, but the number of miners, they have increased to 150,000. Okay. Now the first halving event will happen in 2027. The supply will be reduced to 25. Back then, maybe the number of miners would have increased to 400,000. So everybody will receive less and less BTCC. Understand this simple mathematics. 50 assets, 50 numbers distributed amongst 15,000, same 50 assets distributed amongst 150,000. So day by day, the number of miners are increasing. So everybody will receive less and less value with the ongoing years. And with the supply reducing further, this is your chance, your best chance. This 2.5 years that you have before the first halving, these are your best years to claim BTCC as much as possible. Start mining BTCC. It's very important. You will not get this time back. In 2027, with the first halving, how many years are left for the first halving? Let us see how many days are left for the first halving. So almost 841 days and 3 hours are left for the first halving. Okay. So claim as many BTCC as possible. And before first halving, I believe you will see what value creation this BTCC will have. So how can you claim it? The simplest answer is grab a miner, put it to mine BTCC, and that's how this single miner can give you 140 years of mining benefit. Claim as many BTCC as possible. So the simple conclusion to this is, knowing what you know of Bitcoin, if still you cannot see this second chance that you're getting, then again you will be left with nothing else but to regret. Everybody, I believe everybody would have got at least a single chance to claim Bitcoin. But did we? Not everybody. Only a few certain who believed in Bitcoin. They understood the value, the futuristic potential of Bitcoin. They have taken an advantage. They have claimed a benefit. So now that you know about Bitcoin and Bitcoin code, this is our second chance. And still, if we can afford to lose this, then nobody can help us. Claim as many BTCC as possible. And of course, the nodes packages are not available, but this is another, this was another way of claiming BTCC. Then there were validators program as well. So this is something very, very exclusive that we all are getting as in terms of BTCC. Grab this opportunity. Make sure that you make the most of this. Okay. And there are certain more elements to this. There is certain more training to this. So this is what we are offering. Tomorrow, we will have this session, the part 2 of this BTCC training, and we will continue this session tomorrow. So today you understood BTCC, Bitcoin, BTCC, everything, all the perspective. So tomorrow we are gonna deep into the calculations of BTCC, the DApp, and how everything is organized. So tomorrow it's going to be the part 2 of this BTCC training. Please make sure you join tomorrow again. I know it's a Saturday, but these are all exclusive sessions that we are, contributing as a value to this community. So tomorrow it's going to be the part 2 of this in continuity to the existing session. And that is all for tonight. Although it's very late, I can understand. And if you have any questions around BTCC, we are here to address the questions. Over to you, Grace. And thank you so much, everybody. So let us have some questions if there are any, or we can conclude the session.
Trashid, one thing that I have to personally thank you for is the fact that you make my words credible. When I said that this was going to be a masterful training, you definitely delivered. Okay. I took when your video froze, and I took a poll, and unanimously everybody was valuing this training. They were just loving it. So I am sure that everybody will be thoroughly engaged and anticipating tomorrow's training. Do you have a time frame when that might be offered?
I believe we can do that on the same time. We
Uh,
have
the
onboarding call at 3 p.m. UK. So maybe we
right.
can utilize this 7 p.m. UK slot. We can continue this tomorrow.
That sounds very logical. Perfect. Late
Yes.
for you, but perfect for us. And thank you so much for that willingness to do that.
And
Very
tomorrow it's
exciting.
gonna be very interesting because we are gonna get into more detailed calculation and everything. How, let me ask anybody who can answer. How do you know how many BTCC you are claiming every day? Not many have the answers to this. Like you have plugged in your miners, right?
Mhm.
But how will you know how many BTCC you are claiming every day? There is a formula to it, and we will disclose that formula tomorrow.
Fantastic, fantastic, great. And Trashid, once those BTCs are claimed through the mining process, they're yours. They're just waiting for you to harvest them, pluck them out of the
Yes.
cave, so to
Yes.
speak.
So we are going to get into more detailed explanation around this and why harvesting is very important for everybody. We will all cover that in tomorrow's session. And these sessions are recorded. So I believe anybody, now that you have this recorded session, anybody who would like to learn about BTCC or would like to explain about BTCC to others, they can use this session as an tutorial or maybe exemplary note.
Absolutely. Sheba Joe
Yes.
has his hand up. Joe, if you will go ahead and share your video, that is excellent. So thank you. Go
Hi
ahead
Joe,
and
how are
unmute.
you?
Let me go ahead and get you unmuted. How are you?
Perfect. Sorry, I was muted there. I'm wonderful, and I'm even better now. Trash it. As I said the other day, you work tirelessly to put these trainings together to give everybody the education and the knowledge that they need to make the best out of this opportunity. And I think tonight you exceeded that without doubt. And I don't doubt for a minute that you're going to do that tomorrow as well. There are 78 people here on this call. Where is everybody else? Think of all of the people that are missing out on this true masterclass that we've had this evening, the information that you've shared tonight. If you've taken notes, and if you haven't taken notes, it's a good job this is recorded. But Trashit is working so hard to put this information together. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could get 150, 200 people on tomorrow's Zoom where Trashit can finish off his presentation? Wouldn't that be incredible? Invite your teams, bring your prospects. This is great education for them as well, so that they can begin to see the vision of what we have in our hands. Trashit, there isn't anything else I can say. You truly are a master trainer. And, you know, tonight has just been incredible, and I can't wait for tomorrow night.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
And your training is equally, benefactory. All your tutorials in your videos and everything. I think you two are a great asset to this entire beautiful opportunity. Thank you, Joe, for your kind
Very kind.
words.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Shiba Joe. So, do we have any questions? Okay, so you've taken some notes today, and you have probably are saying, okay, let me hear tomorrow. I will have my questions then, and you have it all written out. But make sure you've heard Trashit, you've heard Shiba Joe. Make sure that your team is with you so that they will benefit also from what you're learning and what they need to know and how impactful this is to your present understanding, your back to the basics understanding. And tomorrow, I know Trashit is going to pull it in for your future visualization because the visionary has put it together and we know where we're heading because we're doing what? Following Bitcoin. So we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. If you have no questions here, Trashit, to say thank you is very, very limited. But thank you very much for the fantastic training. Folks, you do have the DYQ form, so drop your question and also check the results and make sure that your questions are answered. You also have the evaluation form. I took a small poll here, and all of you were engaged and loving this training. So please provide that information in your evaluation and perhaps suggest anything else that you want to be able to have Tashi cover. Thank you so much for being here, community. Thank you all. We will go ahead and close off. Tashi?
Thank you, Grace. And yes, tomorrow we look forward to meet you again. We will make sure that the broadcast links are provided in all the communication channel. The recording right now is available on YouTube. We have shared the link as well. So please make sure if anybody is joining tomorrow for, without being a part of this, you can review that in the YouTube and then you can join so that you will have more clarity around things, what we will deliver tomorrow. That being said, any other questions? There is a Noni, can I ask you to share the DYQ form and the evaluation form, please? So DYQ form, the question and answer form is for you to put up your questions. We have a panel of experts who address your individual questions. And then the evaluation form is for your to give us a quick feedback on the training sessions and how can we improve this training sessions. So that will be all from the training side. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Grace, for being a wonderful host. Like you are always a great support to this community and all the panelists, co-host, and everybody else. Thank you so much for joining. Let's conclude. We will meet you again tomorrow.
So that's tomorrow at
Yes.
7 p.m. UK Prime